What's going on, guys? It's Preachy, and today's that day you've all been asking for. It is, in fact, Feral Druid Cat Day. Yeah, we're going to be doing some kitty swiping and doing some big damage with our scratchy little paws. We love it, don't we? We like the feral cat. And a lot of us who played Druids in the past, I was a Druid main for a long time. Always wanted the opportunity just to be a little bit of a puddy cat sometimes, a little buzzy cat, so we can go out and do some big damage. But unfortunately, in today's environment, feral druids aren't considered that useful, basically because a big damage source is shred. We can't always attack from the front. Their damage is slightly subpar anyway. Doesn't really matter, because if we're playing feral druid bear, every now and again we want to use all that awesome agility leather that we've picked up through tanking to go ahead and do some feral cat DPS. That's right. Awesome. We're going to use the usual. We're going to do glyphs, we're going to do talents, we're going to do the spells he should be casting. Any questions about my UI or anything like that, check my channel, guys. It's all there for you. There's a video with Preach user interface and all that good stuff. Boom! This is Preach, the Immortal. Love that title. Anybody who's got that title as soon as they, when it was legitimately Googleable, give me a bro fist. Ooh, if you went through the horror that was Kelthas added that last 10%, you'll know what I'm talking about. So as I've already said, we're after leather agility gear. And what are we gemming? What are we gemming? Agility, 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 agility. We need that agility, guys. Agility, agility. If this, think about it all the time. Does this have more agility? Yes, then you want it. You crave it. You need it. You need it to be a part of your life. Agility, agility. We're going to be gemming agility all the way through. Just watch. Agility, 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 agility. Look how I have gemmed agility coming through the back teeth. We love our agility. We can't reforge for agility. We just can't do it. It's a base stat. Agility is the most powerful stat of our little class here, so we need to be making sure we are agile, dexterous little cats. We are jumping up on sheds and roofs and getting into all sorts of funky positions and doing maximum amounts of DPS and carnage. Absolutely love it. Gem as much agility as possible. If you get an item that has a set bonus that's a little bit odd, like this one, 20 agility, you might think on the face of it, Preacher, 20 agility bonus, that sounds pretty cool. Not when you look at the colours. It would be a blue and a yellow socket. If we did not gem 2 pure agility gems in there, giving us a total of 80 agility, and we went with hybrid gems, so let's say we had agility haste, agility hit, we would just lose 20 agility overall. We would have a total of 60 instead of the total of 80 that we have like this. That is more important, guys. Get as much agility as possible. If we look at our chest item, our Storm Rider's raiment, we look at that and we see that it's got a red socket and a blue socket with a 20 agility bonus. Some very quick math. 1 red gem of agility is 40 agility. 2 of those would be 80 total, so we would have a total of 80 agility. If we put a red gem in there with 40 agility and a hybrid gem giving us 20 agility, we would pick up that 20 agility bonus, giving us the same total of 80 agility, and we've picked up 20 hit. Very easy to do in your mind, guys. Just look at the set bonus. Will I get more agility by gemming a red gem, or will I have more agility if I use the hybrid gem? Easy as that. That's what you need to consider, guys. Dead easy. That's how you gem. Reforging. How do we reforge as a feral cat? Well, we're a melee DPS now, so if you've been used to tanking, you're going to have to do some heavy reforging, because you're no doubt heavily reforged into dodge. So if you want to do some decent top-level DPS, and not just trying to muck around in a heroic or whatever, then you're going to want to do some reforging. Hit in expertise are now important. Very important. We want to get 8% hit chance. 8.16 for the Preacher Man, not too bad. And we want 26 expertise, or a total of 6%, and that is where we are in good gravy time. That means that all our abilities are going to make contact as long as we are DPSing from behind. How can you tell if you're doing things correctly? Your shred is able to be used. If you can't shred, you are in the wrong position. Very easy. Hit and expertise are your primary goals. What are we reforging away from, Preacher? What stats are our worst stats? It's not as easy as it used to be on the Feral Druid. Not as easy as it used to be. Haste and Mastery are pretty similar. A little bit below them is Crit. Okay, so your first source of reforging is going to be your crit chance. Get rid of that crit chance, because as a feral druid, even though I've reforged away all the crit on this game, you still have a flat 35% chance to crit. Awesome. We have a lot of crit naturally, okay, guys, because we're gemmed so heavily for agility. We have things like Leader of the Pack, all that good jazz. We don't need that much crit chance. We're going to reforge away our crit to pick up more haste and more mastery. Mastery is going to do our bleeds. Bleed damage, and haste is going to increase our attack speed and our energy regen. More energy means more DPS. So haste and mastery are pretty close to each other. Try and strike a decent balance between the two, and reforge your crit away mainly. Okay, guys. So your priorities: get your hit up to 8%, get your expertise up to 26 or 6%. Then get yourself as much mastery and haste as possible, and reforge your crit away primarily. Very easy. Let's look at our talents. Let's jump straight in. Okay, this is pretty much the standard build that everybody sort of goes for the Feral Druid. I had a look around, everyone's pretty much this exact carbon copy. There are some choices, but these seem to be the best. We've gone with Feral Swiftness straight away. What do I always tell you about being a melee DPS or a tank? You need run speed. We have now doubled the run speed of a normal DPS because we have 30% in cat form. Amazing, absolutely fantastic talent. Pick it up. Fury, we have a 100% chance to gain 10 rage. Care, we're cats not bears. Allows you to keep up 100 energy when you shapeshift into cat form. We sometimes have to shapeshift, guys. We might have to do rebirths. We might have to just do any sort of action, throwing out tranquilities, all that kind of stuff. What we don't want is if we pop out into our lovely caster form, pop back into cat form, and our energy bar is empty. We don't want that. We want to keep our energy, and Fury is going to allow us to do that. Waiting for your energy bar to fill up takes forever. Oh man, such a DPS loss. Fury swipes, all summed up. Basically, while we're attacking, we're going to have a chance to cause a Fury swipe, which is going to do a nice big flat amount of damage. We don't need to worry about that. It's going to do it on its own. We don't need to activate anything. It's all doing itself. Primal Fury gives you a 100% chance to gain rage, whatever. And your critical strikes from cat farm abilities that add combo points have a 100% chance to grant an additional combo point. Yes! So when we crit with things like Shred and Mangle, we're going to be getting 2 combo points instead of 1, firing up those combo points really quickly. Really good. Feral Aggression. Increase the damage caused by your Ferocious Bite by 10% and cause your Fairy Fire Feral to apply 3 stacks of the Fairy Fire effect when cast. That is amazing. Fairy Fire is now the quickest, easiest source of armor debuffing any mob in the game. So good. Watch how fast it is. Boom. Done. From miles away. Really, really good and lasts 5 minutes. It's the best one. Now it'll do it all on its own while we're running in. Happy days. Also, that buffs our Ferocious Bite, which is now going to be our Execute ability. We'll talk about that shortly. King of the Jungle. We're not apes, we're bears, we're cats. What's going on here? We're not apes. Your damage is increased by 15% from Enrage, in bear form, whatever. And your Tiger's Fury ability also instantly restores 60 energy. That is so much energy. I mean, we want to use Tiger's Fury anyway because it boosts our physical damage. But now that's going to give us 60 energy. We need to keep Tiger's Fury on cooldown all the time to get that cooldown back up. So we've got so much extra energy coming in. Feral Charge, as a Druid, we have to spec for our charge. That's okay, not too bad. We get Cat Charge and Bear Charge, so we don't need to talk too much about them. But we do need to talk about Stampede. Increase your melee haste by 30% after you use Feral Charge. And your next Ravage will temporarily not require stealth or have a positioning requirement for 10 seconds after you use Feral Charge Cat, and cost 100% less energy. So basically in cat form, our Feral Charge is going to give us a free Ravage. Ravage is generally only used while we're in stealth, but watch what happens. Watch the bar. There's Ravage there. You see my little mouse cursor? After we Feral Charge, look, it lights up and we can just fire off a Ravage. Really, really nice. So it's a nice little boost. Really, really good. Moving down to Leader of the Pack. As everybody knows, it gives 5% crit to everybody around you. Really, really good. Your melee critical strikes in cat form and bear form cause you to heal you. Really good. So we're keeping ourselves alive and we're giving 5% crit to everybody, including ourselves. Brutal Impact. I don't like this talent. I can see why it's in the game, so that Resto Druids and Balanced Druids don't have this interrupt. But having to spec for a normal cooldown of interrupts as a melee DPS, it really frustrates me. But there you go. Basically, it's just reducing our interrupt down to a normal cooldown. We're going to be interrupting because, of course, we're ballers and we like to add to our group. We're going to be interrupting everything we possibly can. Nurturing Instinct. This is a choice, but I think it's a good choice. I think you should pick it up. Increase your healing spells by 100% of your agility. Well, that helps us when we're doing our tranquilities, definitely. And increase the healing done to you by 20% while in cat form. So we're easier to heal. That's what's most important. We're easier to heal. We're easier to keep alive. And when we do need to throw out them clutch tranquilities, we're actually going to do something rather than nothing. And that's what's important. Primal Madness. How very troll instance. Tiger's Fury and Berserk also increase your current and maximum energy by 20 during the duration. Nice. Really nice. Just a flat energy increase while we're using Tiger's Fury. So that means we're not wasting energy. It used to be the case that we had to sort of watch our energy bar very closely to make sure when we fired off these cooldowns that we weren't wasting energy. Now we have a little bit of a buffer thanks to that talent. Survival Instincts, it's our last stand. Our shield wall, shall I say, reduce all damage taken by 50% for 18 seconds, only usable while in bear form or cat form. How can you complain at a 50% damage reduction? You can't. Take it. Endless Carnage, increase the duration of your Rake by 6 seconds and your Savage Roar. Amazing ability. We just need to keep it. The less we have to put up silly debuffs like Rake and Savage Roar, the better. We could be doing more shreds. We could do more timed rips. Rend and Tear. Increase the damage done by your maul and shred attacks on bleeding targets by 20%. So instantly you now know we need to have bleeds up. Okay? When our bleeds are up, all our damage is going to be so much higher, and we need that. And increase the critical strike chance of your Ferocious Bite ability on bleeding targets by 25%. So we're getting big, fat crits from our Ferocious Bite. Good, good. Blood in the Water. It used to be called Nom Nom Nom. We wish it was called Nom 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 still, because it was a great name. When you Ferocious Bite a target at or below 25% health, you have a 100% chance to instantly refresh the duration of your rip on the target. So when we're at 25% or lower, we're no longer putting rip up. We're just going to be Ferocious Biting instead, and that's going to refresh our rip for us. Brilliant. Really good. Nice execute talent. And Berserk, our major DPS cooldown. Ooh, so good. I really like this. Your Lacerate, blah blah blah, has a 50% chance to request Mangle. Whatever, we're not tanking. In addition, when activated, this ability causes your Mangle Bear ability to hit up to 3 targets and have no cooldown. Great. And reduce the energy cost of all your cat form abilities by 50%. Last 25 seconds. You cannot use Tiger's Fury while Berserk is active. Note the second line. You cannot use Tiger's Fury while Berserk is active. Don't overlap them and ruin it. Don't do it. We want the extra benefits. Especially if you're using Tiger's Fury while you're berserking and things are only costing you 50% as much. They're cheap spells. Our Shred's nice and cheap. We don't want that to overlap at all, guys. We don't want that. Moving over. Standard stuff. Heart of the Wild. In cat form, we get a 10% bonus to attack power. Brilliant. Natural Shapeshifter makes it cheap. We don't really want that. What we do want is Master Shapeshifter, which increases our crit chance by another 4%. I hope you can see now why, mixed with Leader of the Pack and all our agility gemming, that crit is very devalued on gear. And we put the last point to Perseverance because there's not really a great place else to put it. Reduce all spell damage taken by 2%. We have a lot of incoming spell damage, especially in raids. Make sure you've got Perseverance if you can get it. Really, really nice. If you want to put it into something else like Thick Hide, Natural Reaction. Natural Reaction is quite good. I mean, it's a 9% damage reduction and a 3% flat dodge if we do need to take over. A lot of times Feral Druids will be in that position where the tank has just died. You do have the option to go in there, turn into a bear, taunt the boss, throw on a survival instincts, mix with natural reaction. You have a chance to survive and maybe bring us the kill. I've been there before. I've saved the kill while DPSing as a feral cat after the tanks have died, taunted the boss and managed to stay alive. So bear that in mind, guys. Glyphs. Real easy for the Feral Druid. Your 3 primes are your main ones, okay? Glyph of Berserk. Berserk is our big DPS cooldown. Make sure you extend the duration of Berserk. Glyph of Shred, this is our combo point generator, our primary one. Each time you shred, the duration of your rip on the target is increased by 2 seconds, up to a maximum of 6, so we get to do more shreds in between rips. Our Glyph of Rip, increase the damage of rip. We're going to have rip up all the damn time. Great stuff. The other one I suggest you pick up is Glyph of Feral Charge. Feral Charge does give you that free Ravage, so when you get into a more advanced play and you're comfortable with what you're doing, you can definitely throw out some Feral Charges and Ravages for some extra damage. And Glyph of Rebirth. Players resurrected by Rebirth return to health, 100% of their health. Really good, that, guys. We are going to be a #1 source of Rebirth for the raid. We are going to get asked to Rebirth all the time. So go ahead and do that, okay, guys? Really, really useful. Pick up that Glyph. That is our Feral Druid. What are we DPSing with? Well, in general, we have a lot to manage as a Feral Druid. I'll just go and start meleeing here. What you want to do is make sure that if Mangle or some sort of bleed damage addition is up on the target, okay, guys? We need Mangle to be up all the time. All of our damage is buffed by this. We need Rake to be up all the time and ticking. Our combo point generator is going to be Shred. When we're at 5 combo points, we have a couple of decisions to make. Firstly, get Savage Roar up. Savage Roar. You don't have to do that with 5 combo points, just make sure Savage Roar's up. When Rake's falling off, go ahead and Rake and get it back. And we want to be using Tiger's Fury on cooldown and then putting on a Rip. Okay, and once these debuffs are on, you Rake, you Rip and you Mangle, and your Savage Roar, you're shredding in between, okay? Be very wary of trying to slide in some sneaky little, I know you're going to try and do it, some ferocious bites. It can become very, very tricky to manage them all. It doesn't matter if you sat at 5 combo points, alright, guys? Just keep shredding away and making sure that you can keep these debuffs ticking all the time. That is more important, believe me. Really is more important. So, okay. We're going to be jumping into Heroic now, and I'll demonstrate how exactly to play this for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. See you there.